Hi, everybody. My name is Melanie Keller. I am the Associate Artistic Director of First Folio Theater, and today I have the great privilege of talking with my friend Christian Gray, who is an Artistic Associate of First Folio Theater. Hi, Christian.
Hello everybody, and happy birthday, Allison.
Happy birthday, Allison Vestley. Hey, Christian, tell me a little bit about your affiliation with First Folio. When did you start working with the company, and what shows have you done? It's a lot.
I met Allison doing a show at Bailiwick Theater, directed by Jeremy Wexler, called Henry VI's Blood of a Nation, which was a compilation of all three parts of Shakespeare's Henry VI. There are many stories to tell, which would take far too long for this. However, after that experience, Allison asked me to audition for A Midsummer Night's Dream that summer. Bob Scoggin, who I had a long time relationship with, the late great Bob Scoggin, was already cast as Bottom. So I went in, did the audition, and they cast me as Lysander and Kevin McKillop as Demetrius, which began another relationship, a long-standing relationship in First Folio. And so we did that show, and then they asked me back the next year, and then the next year, and they were basically just big-time suckers. So that started it. As far as how many shows I have done with them, it is over 20. I've obviously done Poe a number of times, Jeeves a number of times, but before that, I played Romeo for them and Mercutio for them. Romeo, I think it was the third or fourth time I played that role. I've done Shrew a couple times with them. And I met you doing The Importance of Being, well, I knew you beforehand, but we finally worked with you for the first time with the Importance of Being Earnest, which was actually the first time they asked me to be an artistic associate.
Oh, I was wondering. Okay. So you have a long history with First Folio, but in addition to First Folio, you have also been affiliated with other Chicago theater companies over the years. You referenced Bob Scoggin, the former artistic director of Shaw Chicago. So what are some of those other theater companies? You've also been a founding member of a theater company or two. What were some of those other companies, and what is it to you about being a member of a company that you really enjoy?
Okay, well, first part, yes, I was part of Shaw Chicago for a number of years. I performed in over 30 shows for them. The late Jonathan Nichols and I started Rising Moon Theater, for which we hired you, to do The Lion in Winter, directed by Bob Scoggin. And my last one was I was acting, executive director of Misalliance Theater, which was founded right after the closing of Shaw Chicago. And that is now on hold, as almost everything is. In terms of, being a part of a company, I think one of the great things about being a part of a company is that you get to know all of your compatriots, whether it's on stage or backstage, and you begin, you develop your relationships with them. And in terms of the work environment, it just gives you a shorthand. So you're able to do things a lot quicker. And you also are more free to explore, if you're working with someone new, and particularly these days, and rightfully so, I mean, you have to be careful with intimacy, you have to be careful with combat, you have to be careful with a lot of things. But with people that you can generally just, I can go up to you and go, what do you think of this? Do you think that's okay? Or what are you okay with? And, we got a shorthand, great, done. And we can get it, and let's give it a shot. With other people, it's going to take a little more time.
Agreed. You build a level of trust. And of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention one of your greatest collaborators, who is also a member of First Folio Theater Company, your wife, Lydia Berger-Gray.
Yes. And she's the one who keeps me grounded, I guess, or that's one way to put it.
I would love to know a little bit about how you got into acting, what drew you to it, and what continues to excite you about it.
Well, my mother would say that happened at birth. There's a lot of different things. I was born with 2 severely clubbed feet, and I underwent then a revolutionary surgery, now commonplace. It's actually the surgery that they use. But the doctors basically said that I would never be able to run, and I would have difficulty walking for all of my life. I ended up playing scholastic football and basketball. So there was a determination that I had early on, but I always, even as a kid, you know, I used to write puppet plays for my family or little plays here and there, and we'd do this stuff, these silly little skits. And my mother finally asked me if I wanted to take an acting class, and I guess I resoundingly said yes. And that was, I think I was in the 6th grade or something like that. Yeah, so that's what drew me into it. And what I immediately found out was that acting incorporates everything that makes you a human. It's physical, it's mental, it's emotional, and it takes a lot of focus and a lot of trust, and a lot of really good people to carry it off. And what I mean by good people is kind of the same thing that First Folio has in its mantra, is that we want to work with good people.
Okay, so my last question for you is, how many times have you played Bertie Wooster in a First Folio production, Jeeves and Wooster?
I've done it 5 times, and I've done it twice for Chicago.
That's right. So you have great experience playing Bertie. Bertie is always doing something utterly ridiculous, super dumb, very silly. I want you to tell me, if you can pick one moment, something very silly, very dumb, very ridiculous that you've gotten to do as Bertie Wooster.
There's a list. You know, let's go back to the first one. Let's keep this simple. You know, essentially like playing with the props on stage, coming up with the wrestling match with Kevin McKillop and good old Michael Goldberg, trying to figure out how silly with our arses in the air we could be. David would remember this. It got quoted in one of the reviews. For some reason in rehearsal, you know, the line was actually, who was that gorilla masquerading as a man? And I put in, who was that miniature gorilla masquerading as a man? And Allison was like, don't call him miniature. And David's like, no, call me miniature. No. And of course it got quoted.
Well, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day. Stay well. It's wonderful to talk to you. And I hope we get to see you on the boards sooner than later.
Right back at you.